in Texas, a law passed regarding memorandums.
Right.
So um, there's a couple of things that legally, right? A memorandum has to meet certain statutes, right? Certain requirements within that statute.
Right.
Um, so one of them we were able to clear because the previous wholesaler didn't submit earnest money to the previous title company.
Okay.
So we were, I spoke with the underwriter, we spoke with the other title company, and then the underwriter was like, you know what? Yeah, I can clear that off.
Welcome to the Texas Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview Texas real estate professionals from active real estate investors, lenders, property managers, and many others that provide goods and services into the real estate investing industry in the great state of Texas. Our goal is simple: to share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level, and to meet the pros that can help you get there. Texas Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and entrepreneurs build the business they need to live the life that they've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Texas Real Estate Pros podcast. Once again, I'm your host, John Harkar. We're here today with Percy Yarlicke. And what we're going to talk with Percy today is, besides his journey about, how he got into real estate and what really brought him to today, we're going to talk about something that I know I've had to deal with a lot and I hate it, but we're going to talk about kind of messy title situations, how Percy can overcome those and get the deals over to the finish line. Percy, man, welcome to our show.
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good,
Thank you
man.
for having me.
Yeah, no, awesome, man. Good talk, good conversation offline. Title situations are, you know what, right? They're always a pain. Nobody likes them. But it's the best way, sometimes you can help people out, through doing that. But,
For sure.
before we talk about all that, tell our audience a little bit more about you, kind of, what got you into real estate, what brought you up to today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. So, I'm actually originally from the East Coast. I was born and raised in Peru, came to the States when I was 10. And we originated in Virginia, DC area. That's where most of my family is from. That's where I'm from. That's where I went to school, college. I kind of grew up, and my mom was sort of what you could say an inexperienced investor.
Okay.
So she was an entrepreneur from she was a kid. So she was doing a lot of the buy and holds, the buy and sells back in the before 2008 happened. So I kind of there was the bug that I kind of saw. And in 2008 we just lost it all. That boom happened. But my mom wasn't really caught up with the times and how things were doing because everything was easy at that time.
Sure.
You needed a loan. Hey,
Yeah.
right then and there.
Yeah, just have a pulse.
Right.
You're good.
Right.
You're for $1 million bucks? Sure.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, you'll pay it off. I believe you.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, we lost it all in '08. I graduated high school in '08, so I went to college. And then when I graduated college, since the time that I graduated high school all the way to college, we were renting. We were going from house to house and we were just paying rent.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So fast forward, graduated 2012, 2014. I was already in corporate. I started in the government contracting side, and then I moved into the private sector, doing cybersecurity. So,
Okay.
I leverage at that moment in time. I leverage my money and my credit, and I decided to buy a house. This is in Virginia. Bought a $500,000 home, and I gave it to my mom. At that point in time. So.
Wow.
I remember I slept on the basement. It was a small room. I slept on the basement for a whole year because I wanted to save up so I can buy something for myself because I just needed to move out. Always been that type of person to be independent and wanted to be alone on my end. And I did. I lived there for a little over a year, saved up, bought myself a condo. And not even a year in that I had moved into my condo, I got a job offer here in Dallas.
Okay.
Um, and I didn't want to leave home. But the way that I thought about it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use it as a resume builder. I'm gonna come to Dallas for a year, go back to DC and work for the government, So I
And
had
how
like
long
all
ago
this.
was that?
Right. So I had all these plans and of course I think, I'm a believer. So I think that God has things put in place for a
Yeah. Oh,
reason.
amen. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So I decided to move to Dallas. I automatically became a landlord at that point in time. And when I moved to Dallas, actually prior to that, I was already researching on how can I do this better, right? How can I buy houses better or buy
Okay.
property better
Now, when
instead
you
of
say researching it, like, were you looking into like courses? Were you just looking on, YouTube U? What does that look
so
like?
I joined a REIA back at
Okay.
home. And I think it was like probably the biggest REIA in that area. And I would go to their talks every week. I would listen to, how other people were being successful. I heard about wholesaling, I heard about flipping, and I knew at that point in time I didn't want to do flips. Um, it was just time consuming. There was a lot of money you had to put into the table.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted something quick and easy that I can kind of, put the rest of the time after my corporate to be able to, get a little bit more money. And so I didn't get to, funny enough, I didn't get to do that over there. I remember buying I think I bought like 200 or 300 bandit signs and they're still sitting in our garage. They're still sitting
Really?
in the garage back at home.
Yeah.
I think I only posted like, I don't know, maybe like 10 of them.
Why didn't you pay someone to go put them up?
Well, at the time,
Well, you're new at the time, so
I was brand new. I was
Yeah.
brand new.
Yeah.
This was 2016,
Okay.
2015. Um, and I was hearing people, hey, you gotta put in the work, right? You have to get your hands dirty. And I was trying to do it myself, and quickly I found out, that wasn't for me. So I just kind of let it die or let it just sit there. And when I came to Dallas, I was already kind of familiar with the, kind of like the researching that I have done on what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And funny enough, and I always say this, God always puts the right people in the right times. And I went to my first networking event in real estate. And I met my escrow officer at the time. I met, friends that were wholesaling at the time that I'm still friends with. And it just kind of opened up doors. It
Yeah.
opened up doors for me.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And that's when I kind of started. I started in South Dallas, Fair Park area. At that time, houses were costing about 30 to 40,000 per property. So it was way easier to get into that realm than it was back at home when average prices were $500,000. So
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Big difference, a lot easier entry. I mean,
absolutely,
even the mindset
absolutely.
of going after $500,000 versus a $40,000 property, it just makes it feel more easy. You know what I mean? It's only 40 versus half of
Yeah,
it.
it's only exactly. Yeah. And I think that was a big step for me because I have an engineering background, so I hope I overanalyze things. And that was hindering my growth because I wanted to get things done in a certain way and I wanted to plan it out in a certain way so
You
that I
wanted
wouldn't
it
fail.
perfect. Perfect
Right.
never comes.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't
Right.
happen.
I think my biggest fear at that point in time was like, you know what? I don't want to lose money. I don't want to fail.
Yeah.
And now fast forward, right? I'm 8 years into the game now. That's part of success.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
growth.
Losing is gaining, is
Yes.
winning.
Yes. I always say this, you don't spell millionaire without a couple L's, right? So that was at that point in time, I didn't understand that. For me, it was like, I don't want to lose money. I don't want to lose money. So I had plan A, B, and C set up. And then while I was trying to do that, other people were ahead of me because they just took action, you know? And I'm like, why these people are successful, or at least they're making money. And I'm still sitting here studying, going to networking events, going to, REIA events, and I haven't done a single deal. So funny enough, I don't know if we are getting into the first deal, but I'll tell you my very first deal,
Mhm.
everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah, well, no,
Every,
yeah, let's talk about that. I would like to talk about the challenges that you happen. So yeah,
yeah.
tell me. Let's
So
go.
I started back in Virginia. The very first property that I put on the contract was in Maryland. And it was a big house. It was an older lady.
Oh
Um,
man, I just
I
see it
remember,
already. I just see
yeah,
what you're going
I
down.
I
What was
re-
the
I
movie?
remember,
What was the movie? Money Pit. Money
huh?
Pit. Did you ever see
Yes,
that movie, Money Pit? Yeah,
yeah,
big
yeah.
house, tons of dough. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I just hit it. Yeah, I'm like, yes, this is about to be a good deal. Um, and I remember driving about an hour and a half from home to go look at the property, walk the property. The property was, I mean, going back now that I know a lot of things, it was a mess. It was
Mm.
probably over 100,000 worth of work.
Oh, like
Yeah,
what? Like what were the major things? Like full roof, full reno? I mean, what was the major stuff?
yeah, so it needed full roof, foundation was shot. You know, in the East Coast we have basements, so basement needed a lot of work to be done.
Mm.
The floors and the ceilings had holes in them. It had shiplap instead of drywall. So it was just a lot, you know.
Yeah. There's a
Um
70s build, something like that.
Exact. I think this was the 30s. I think it was
30s.
a
Oh wow,
30s
even
build.
further back. Well, in Maryland,
Yeah,
yeah, it's probably way back.
yeah. And so I put it on the contract. I start marketing it. People were interested, but then they go see it and they're like, nah, man, you're way off. And crazy enough, I thought, you know what? I'm already on the hook. How am I going to get out? I'm already on the contract.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I had put money into it. How am I going to get out?
Mm-hmm.
So thankfully enough, I was able to renegotiate. But even even me renegotiating, I was still wrong on the math. Like I was still in a high price range than what other investors were coming in. And so thankfully, I finally, after I think it was like after 2 months of marketing it, I found someone. He said he liked it. He put down earnest money. At that point, I think I only asked for like 2,000 in earnest money. And we're going through the process. And while we're going through the process, the title company tells me, hey, this is not the owner. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not the owner?
What?
And what happened was that this lady had bought the house with her dad a while back. Her dad passed away. And because of the laws in Maryland, you don't automatically get full ownership.
Sure. Had to be
So
probated?
it wasn't probated.
Oh, it wasn't probated.
Yeah. So basically the title company's attorney told her that, hey, unfortunately, even though he's your dad, you're not the full owner. So in order for you to become the full owner, you need to do this, and that. And that was going through that probate situation.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of that going on. There was a realtor in the mix as well, in this scenario. She was done with the seller. She didn't want to deal with it. So I'm battling both sides, and then I'm following up with the buyer, and the buyer's like, hey, my hard money lender said he can't land on it. I was like, oh my God, what do we do? So at that point in time, and I think that one was a blessing in disguise, because when he told me that he couldn't close on it, his lender wouldn't close on it, I found out about the ownership issue.
Right.
So I basically told her, hey, I can't buy this. You're not the owner. In order for you in order for me to buy, you have to go through this court proceedings and all of that. That's gonna take a while. I probably wouldn't be interested at that point in time. So my very first deal was me walking away with $2,000, which was the earnest money that, the buyer had put down.
Right.
But I've learned a ton.
Yeah.
I've learned so much since then, right?
Well,
Since
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, just for that deal where everything could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah.
That was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
That shaped me and that built me to continue on moving forward.
And it sounds like a lot of your knowledge, experience comes from, just kind of being in the fire, right? Going through it and doing it. I mean, it sounds like, by joining REIAs and stuff, you kind of sought out others with some knowledge, but it just seems like you kind of just dove in. So, I mean, I guess for you, what really helped you on the mindset piece, right? To get off of that analysis paralysis and just, get moving, right? Because some people, no matter how hard they try, and they might try,
Mm-hmm.
for like a day or two until it really beats them up and they really
Yeah.
get that call from that seller or feedback from that seller. So like for you, how did you be able to get it, get off the bench, get in the game, but more importantly, stay in the game and keep
Yeah.
driving?
I think I think for me was my family's background. So most of my family from my mom's side, um, they were all street vendors. And
Okay.
when I was a kid, I was a street vendor myself. Back in Peru, and my mom had all this mindset of we're just gonna do it. Whatever happens, happens. But if you don't start, you never know.
Yeah.
Um, and I think just going back to that mentality of not being comfortable. I mean, I had a good job, had a good role, I was making good money, but I feel like there was something missing, right? There was something missing for me, and I think it was that passion. And I think what I can say now that I'm good at, is me being put in the fire and like
Being
there's no exit.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's no exit, right?
Yeah.
At least we think there is no exit.
Mhm.
But me, I performed well under pressure. And I think that's what kind of helped me in the mental sense to
Right.
keep
That's
going.
awesome. Okay, so let's talk about where you're at with your business now. So you are in Dallas.
Yeah.
What is your main exit strategy? How big is your team? What are you focusing on?
So right now we service all of the state when it comes to wholesaling. We flip in the Metroplex, probably an hour and a half radius from the airport. And our rentals is mostly secondary, tertiary markets.
Okay.
Um, just because we prefer cash flow and the Metroplex is a little bit harder to get that. But right now, my team is really composed of three people. I have a cold caller, or a marketer. She does a couple of things for me. I have a lead manager who's my follow up, and I have my EA, who's my admin.
Right.
Um, and well, I can add, my contractor, for our flips. But that's really it. I don't
Okay.
I don't have a big team now because of the systems and the processes that I have. I'm able to focus more on profit than volume, which
There you
is
go.
what I care for at the end of the day. So yeah.
Quality over quantity. I love it.
Yeah.
No, and it seems like, and that's been a trend in the past year, almost 2 years, right? People are just trying to scale back, be more lean, and that's kind of one thing that we focus on in our mastermind lately is
Yeah.
like, hey, it's being more efficient as
Yeah.
opposed to growing this, like you said, massive team, right? That was back in the day really cool, and that showed success.
Yeah.
Now it's really not. So
Yeah.
real quick, because we only got a few more minutes. Let's talk about what our kind of thing was at the beginning of messy title situations, right? I've
Yeah.
dealt with a lot to where I've had air situations, I've had lien situations, just so many different issues. One, with Medicare liens and stuff. So,
Mhm.
how do you or what? Or how did you learn how to really deal with these situations with the title company and get them to the finish line?
Yeah. So honestly, everything has been trial by fire, right? So
Hmm.
everything has been me working up on the deal, see what. mm, I think one of the biggest things that I finally understood is that the title company is really only a messenger
Yeah,
for
we're a
the
middleman.
underwriter.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think me understanding that piece of who actually makes that decision is being able to understand what's the okay, so how to measure risk, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what the underwriter wants.
Hmm.
And depending on different underwriters, I was able to kind of understand what they're looking for. But more than anything, I was able to tap in with other investors that are in this niche. It's just messy titles. They deal with, a lot more stuff than what I've done.
Yeah.
So I've been able to tap in with those type of people. Just recently, we closed on one of our flips that we bought with two memos in place.
Okay. 2
Yeah,
memorandums already on it.
yeah, there were two memos were already in place. One was from April of last year. The other one was from like December of last year. Um, no one could close on it because the title company what they would request at the end of the day is like, hey, you need to get a release from the person that the file a memo.
Right.
But
Right.
see,
Right.
but what a lot of people didn't understand is that so just recently um in Texas a law passed regarding memorandums.
Oh,
So um there's a couple of things that legally, right? A memorandum has to meet certain statutes, right? Certain requirements within that statute.
right.
Um, so one of them we were able to clear because the previous wholesaler didn't submit earnest money to the previous title company.
Okay.
So we were, I spoke with the underwriter, we spoke with the other title company, and then the underwriter was like, you know what? Yeah, I can clear that off. And then the second one we were able to there were two things that we were able to do, but we followed up with one which was the easier one. The entity name had forfeited on the Secretary of State website.
Hmm.
So we sent over a screenshot of that of the Secretary of State website to the underwriter. The underwriter looked at the contract, and then he was able to, clear that off. The other part the other option that we were able to do is that because of this law that just passed, um, basically a seller is able to release or able to file a release
Okay.
um,
Wow.
because now in order to file a memorandum, the seller has to sign off on that memorandum. So if there's no signature from the seller, you can kind of clear that off as
Clear
well.
that off. Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, take notes. Good nuggets.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, and I think that, with the title situations, it's they're great deals, but a lot of people just don't want to deal with it, and
Yeah.
it's like, it's a shame because yes, it takes a little bit more work. Guys,
Yeah.
we do have to work a little bit, but the payoff is so much
Absolutely.
better.
Absolutely.
Well, we're out of time here. Percy, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing all this, man. I mean, there's other stuff I got written down I didn't even ask you yet that we could have talked probably like 30 minutes. If there's anybody out here that's in the in the Texas market that might want to connect with you, whatever you said might have resonated, how do they get in touch?
Yeah, you can follow us. You can follow my business page on Instagram, which is Yarlake Investments. You can follow me personally. It's P_buys_houses. I'm in all platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Or you can give me a call, 469-251-2148.
Beautiful. All right, guys. And
Yep.
we'll put a lot of that stuff down in the show notes. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. I hope you took some notes. He dropped a lot of good nuggets if you listened. Percy, man, appreciate you sharing all that.
Absolutely.
Guys, I enjoyed it. Hope you did. See you on the next one.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. If you're looking to take your business and your life to the next level, you really need to learn more about the Investor Fuel Mastermind. It's your shortcut to success. To learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other amazing entrepreneurs, 100% financing on your deals, member-only discounts, and so much more, please visit investorfuel.com/Texas. By the way, Investor Fuel is even Texas-based. Also, if you're interested in applying to be a guest on this very show, the Texas Real Estate Pro Show, please visit investorfuel.com/Texas. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app so you never miss another episode. We'll see you on the next show.